Welcome back to Winning Within. I want to talk about reading and I want to implore you to read the shit out of books. Like get your hands on books and just read because all the answers. Will Smith said something like this. He said he was like, every day I run and every day I read, and he was saying the running is for his mental strength to push himself past his perceived limitations, and the reading, he said, the reading is because every problem that you have in your life right now, someone has experienced it at some point in the past and has found a solution for it and has put it in a book. Everything that you want, there are so many people that have lived before you, so many people that have experienced challenges and struggles, so many people that have wanted what you want, right? As human beings, we're not so different. We want the same basic things, and other people have been in your situation or in a similar situation and have found solutions and found ways of achieving what you want to achieve. So there's so many things in your life right now that maybe you are not happy with, not satisfied with, something that you would like to change, and maybe you don't think of it too actively, and it's just in the background of something that you're like, oh yeah, this kind of sucks, but it's the way it is. And I'd like to tell you that that's not the way it has to be, that you can make changes in your life, and you will start making changes in your life when you have the correct information. Without the information, it's going to be much more challenging for you to make those changes. But when you have the information, you can be like, oh wow, like fuck, I can really do this. There are ways of doing this. And also, I'd like to say that just to recognize how much of a blessing it is that books exist. It might sound silly because books have always existed in your life. And so often when you say like, oh, isn't this amazing? And you point to something that's like often taken for granted because, like for example, this mug, like it's pretty, I mean, uh, I haven't thought of this before, but now just since it came to me, I'm like, there are ways in which this mug is amazing. And I don't know how many people are like, oh my God, mugs are so cool, dude. I want to get a mug tattoo. But like this mug, for example, I don't know, without a mug, how would you drink coffee? How would you drink hot drinks? Right? And the fact that it's got like this little handle and stuff so you can hold so you can hold the mug without the heat transferring, so it's separate. Like, and I'm just using this as an example because it was right in front of me, and because it's something that I think very few people ever are like, wow, a mug is actually really cool. But if we go back to books, it's easy to take books for granted because books are just books, and they've been there your entire life. And so if they had not been there your entire life, right, and there was no access to information, which I mean, I spoke to my grandparents about a year ago, and they were telling me like, yeah, when the internet emerged, it was like crazy, during their time period. Different to books, but like it's also like another source of information. And if books had never existed in your life, right, and there was no way to act, like no internet, no books, no way to access other information, and you had to be like, you had to find people who knew, you had to find those physical people who knew what you want to know. And then all of a sudden, you hear like, oh, hey, there are these things, they call them books. It's basically like people who have like discovered really cool stuff. They've written it down on paper, and they made like loads of copies and stuff, and you can now buy that and you can read their experience. You don't need to go over there and meet them. You can read from their experience, and you can essentially download decades of experience in a matter of hours or days. Like people would be like, no fucking shit, you know. People would be like, wow, books are amazing. But it's easy to overlook a blessing when a blessing has been in your life your entire life. And books have been in your life your entire life, so it's easy to be like, yeah, it's just a book. So yeah, I just wanted to say, like, read the shit out of books if you want to make powerful, positive changes in your life. It's not for everyone, and I say that honestly, because not everyone wants what a book. Well, I don't know, actually. I mean, I guess everyone would like to make positive changes, and maybe you have an aversion to books, right? And in which case, I would say, like, perhaps that aversion stems from the fact that you've had that aversion for so long, and therefore maybe you're like, oh, I'm not good at reading, or I get distracted, or whatever. And to that, I would say, like, with practice, you get better at anything, and you'll get better at reading, and you'll get more comfortable and confident when it comes to reading. At the same time, if you really don't want to read, then like there's audiobooks. You can listen to it. You can watch YouTube videos. You can use YouTube for really beneficial reasons, or beneficial. Yeah, you can use YouTube for things that will really help to improve your life. You don't need to watch YouTube shorts and just scroll mindlessly. YouTube's actually like, it can be used for that, but it can also be used for whatever you want. I don't know, whatever your objective is. If you have like a fitness objective, you can go on YouTube and find people who are experts in the exact thing that you want to improve upon when it comes to your fitness. If it's financial matters, then you can find loads of people who will give you great advice on YouTube for financial matters, experts. If when it comes to like your psychology, making changes in your psychology, you can find loads of people on YouTube who are experts in this, who give this information for free, and that's part of the that's also a part of the challenge, is the fact that a lot of this information nowadays is so easily accessible. It's easy to buy a book for most people. If you're watching this, the chances are, if you want to buy a book, you don't need to save up money. You have the money already, and you can download it, or sorry, you can order it within a matter of minutes, and you have access to information on YouTube like this for free. And that's actually like part of the challenge, because as human beings, when something comes easy, we often don't value it as much. When something is free, we often don't value it as much. If you had paid 100 euros for this video, you would be paying attention way fucking more than you are right now. And that's just like how our brains work. That's how our psychology works. And it's not a good or bad thing, it's just how it is. The more you've invested in something, the more you're going to value that thing, the more you're going to pay attention. If books didn't cost 10, 15 euros, but they cost 1,000 euros, and one day you had saved up for that one book that you wanted to get, that would actually do you like quite a service, because you would cherish that book, you would read it often probably, and you would really pay attention, and you'd really take the information in that book seriously, because you'd have invested in it. So part of the challenge is that this information is so easily accessible nowadays that it can actually bias your perception, and it can rob you in a sense. It can cloud the recognition of the value of information because it's so easily accessible. But actually, like, a lot of stuff on YouTube is pure gold. A lot of stuff in books is pure gold, and they can really, yeah, you can access information that can really help you make the changes in your life that you want to make. So to close this video, I want to say, read the shit out of books and use YouTube for to advance you in life, to use it consciously. Go on YouTube and be like, what is my intention here? What do I want to learn? And yeah, recognize that even though information is very easily accessible nowadays, that does not mean that it's not valuable. The great thing is it's both really it's both really easily accessible and extremely valuable. So it's like it's a real blessing, these times we live in. Although a lot of people might say a lot of negative things about the times we live in, there's a hell of a lot of positive, and this is one of the really powerful positives about the times that we live in, is that information is very easily accessible and very, very powerful, and there's a lot of potential in this easily accessible information to help you make the powerful, positive changes that you want to make in your life. Read the shit out of books.